Hey man, did you ever think it's safe to go back into the water, but not into the woods?
No, definitely not. Way more dangerous to go in the water.
You might be wrong.
Doubt it. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Horror Show. I'm Cecil Laird.
Jaime and Fuego
Here to do a Patreon requested review, and I say because that's how I felt after watching this movie. This one was requested by none other than Teddy Brown. Good old friend of the show, Teddy Brown.
Long-time supporter. We love you, man.
This one that he wanted us to do was Grizzly, a.k.a. Jaws with Claws, is really what it was.
Grizzly,
So when was Grizzly released, Fuego?
I want to say 76, 77, 78, somewhere around there. Somewhere around those parts, but it was one of the most...
76, good one.
Okay, yeah. It was one of the most notorious Jaws copycats, unfortunately.
Literally the next year.
Yeah, as far as biggest thing is that they even approached the creature with the first-person perspective, and that's where it really just got that sort of flack and that sort of smack and so on and so forth. But it was the highest-grossing independent
horror
film,
movie,
yes, of that particular year. And I mean, hey, they at least did something right where people spent money and were interested. And I don't think it's that bad, but
it's rough.
Yes, it is rough.
They rushed the crap out of this production because Jaws released in summer of 1975.
Exactly.
It was the very first summer blockbuster.
Yes.
And this came out in 1976, May of 1976. So it was the summer release of that year. And so they saw Jaws and filmed this movie like almost shot for shot at times. And like there's so many similarities. There's the hunters that go out into the woods to take out the bear, just like the hunters that go out onto the water to take out the shark.
There's the camp who was just like, no, we don't even care. We have this is our best travel season.
There's the fact that you only saw the tiniest bit of the creature, and in this particular movie's case, you saw the actual bear arm, the same bear arm slashing in the same diagonal position until 40 minutes in. That's when you finally saw something besides the bear's arm. So this movie is, I guess for Teddy Brown, this might have been one that he watched as a kid or something that really stuck with him. I had never seen it before, and it just rang so much as a Jaws on the Land clone with worse acting and just less fun. Less fun to me.
Okay, well...
That's my overall thoughts.
Okay, so it does not have like a pivotal scene of discussion like we have at that one particular point.
Farewell and adieu to you, fair Spanish lady.
Well, I mean, where they're sitting on the... Yeah.
Farewell and adieu to you, lady.
He's alluding to it perfectly. Yeah, and that's... what is the name of the ship that went down in...
the Orca.
Well, that's the ship that went down in...
Weren't they on the Orca? Did I get that wrong? Or am I getting that with another sea movie?
Well, no. There was there was the World War II ship that went down.
Oh, the Indianapolis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the story that he tells, where exactly, and they made a movie out of that, and it had Nicolas Cage of all people in it. Yeah, good times. But I mean, for the most part, for me, this it was not immensely enjoyable. It was campily enjoyable.
Campily, yes.
Yeah. I actually really liked the kill at the beginning. I thought that was where they laid their claw marks down. Although a bear clawing, being so adamant to claw through a house. I was.
Are you talking about when the girl you
see
two
girls and you have the guy who was the ranger?
Okay, so no, not that one. But one of the deaths was you see the bear claw swipe. And then this is as much as you see. Pretend I'm the female victim.
Okay.
You just see her clawed up. Just do this. and then
you saw the flying hair.
That's literally it. She just she's clawed and she just goes. And falls out of frame the other way.
It's independent filmmaking, and they were trying their damnedest to just capitalize on that fervency.
Yeah.
and just put it in a different spot. And I will actually contend with you that I thought the acting is actually good in this movie.
Okay.
I think the acting is
Contend
good.
away.
Yeah. The effects are here and there. I mean, there's some parts that are not so good, and then there's others where you can really see you don't see a full bear until near the very end of the film.
Right.
But
you only see legs at
Yeah.
40 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then you don't see full bear standing up until very late. The poster that they have, which I'm sure you guys see right here, is just that happens once in the movie, and it's like, oh, come on, that's it?
It's the money shot. That's when you were reminded that this is an independently made movie outside of the studio system. I mean, shit, with the amount of helicopter shots, they probably spent most of their money on that crap.
This had to be Bart the Bear's first foray into acting, because they had like one Hollywood bear for years. Yeah. And I'm guessing this was his first one. The same bear that was in The Edge. Yeah. The same bear that was in a lot of other movies.
Don't compare this to The Edge.
I'm saying that was the same bear, Bart the Bear. Like, that's Bart the Bear was in The Edge. He was in a lot of movies.
The Edge only killed one person. At least this had a higher, more interesting body count.
I honestly, more interesting? I don't know about that.
Okay, even though I mean Alec Baldwin and Hopkins and stuff. Yeah. I prefer The Edge.
I love The Edge. The Edge is great.
I love The Edge. I own The Edge. It's sitting on my shelf at home. It's a better made movie, but if I'm
best friends with The Edge.
Yeah, but if I'm like a true horror fan who wants like body count and stupid kills and all that hammy silliness, I would probably go more so for this at the end of the day.
Well, if you want hammy silliness, then yeah, absolutely. The Edge was taking it seriously. This was
it did take it seriously.
Hammy stupidity, but it wasn't scary at all.
One person dies in that movie, though.
Yeah, but it was still scarier than this one.
It was horrible when that person died in The Edge. The Edge is a much superior film.
Yeah, I mean,
agreed, obviously.
So that's how much we like Grizzly. We're talking about The Edge.
Yes, we're shifting over to that, but. I still contend that I do not think the acting is terrible on this. I feel like it's worse in some of the Jaws sequels in comparison.
No, you're not going to win that fight with me. I love the Jaws movies, all of them.
I know you do.
I love them all. You're not going to say the acting was better in 3? Grizzly than... Absolutely not. In 3, you got Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, you did.
In 3, you had Louis Gossett Jr. That's B movie caliber talent right there, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's B movie going to the bank.
Yeah, but Gossett was in like the Top Gun.
That was Iron Eagle. That was Iron Eagle time, baby.
Top Gun rip-off.
Iron Eagle. Yeah, don't talk to me about Lou Gossett Jr. I saw that dude at a Suns game one time.
Have you ever seen Jaws 3 in 3D? Notice
not in 3D, no.
Notice what we're talking about.
No, not in 3D.
Instead of Grizzly.
I can't appreciate Jaws 3 like I used to. I used to love Jaws 3, but
it's the worst in
it's been hammered by so many reviewers that I like.
Well,
and the fact that it does glide like a missile into the glass at the end instead of actually swiping its tail like a shark would. Like, I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense at all.
Well, the most nonsensical part about that film for me is that many people still say Revenge is worse than 3. And
no way, Revenge is amazing.
For me,
I love Revenge.
Revenge is second to
I'll take Revenge over 2, yeah.
I'll actually take Revenge over 2 also.
Yeah.
I think it's the second best Jaws movie. That's me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like Mario Van Peebles in that movie, and I like anyway, we're way sidetracked.
We're talking
about Jaws 4 instead of Grizzly.
Grizzly.
Oh man.
Yeah, Grizzly.
Grizzly was rough, man. I did not enjoy this sit. Like, we've watched a lot of older movies through Patreon, and honestly, out of the 5 that we've watched, I've really enjoyed 3 of them. Yeah. We've watched Grizzly, we've watched Alice, Sweet Alice, which was good.
That was great.
We watched Magic, which was great.
Yes.
We watched another one that Susie and I, Student Bodies was great.
Yeah.
And then there was one other one that we watched that was earlier that we didn't like, that was Mikey's... The Mutilator. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So out of the 5 70s horror movies that have been requested, 3 have really made me happy. This is unfortunately one of the 2 that did not.
It was just at the beginning where they had all of these aerial shots for the first and
that shit cost money back in the day.
And that's what
that
I was
was
saying.
helicopter
and that's
shots.
That's what I was saying.
30 years pre-drone.
Is that all of the money that could have been spent on better creature effects, I felt like was spent on these aerial shots of where it's all transpiring initially.
Oh, it didn't make the whole movie for you, those shots?
No,
not at all.
Not a chance, dude. No. And I mean, somebody who's aware of budget, from working with you and from a better understanding of the industry.
Well, again, this was 1970. They were shooting in 75,
and they were independently working outside of a studio.
So that they spent some money on.
They
those
were on the
helicopter
Phantasm
shots.
status. They were on the like Evil Dead status.
They spent some money on those helicopter
79.
shots, for sure.
They spent a ton, presumably, and so just the fuel for those damn things.
So you're giving it way more credit than I am, apparently, because of the timing restraints that they had.
I didn't think it was that bad. I felt like they had an interesting idea.
Fair enough.
And I felt like some of the kills were actually brutaler than I was anticipating.
Some of them, some of the creature, some of the gashes.
They were
and
cutting
like
heads
that
off
really
and
cool.
stuff, man.
That was one silly thing. The bear knocks a horse's head off like it's a fucking pinball at one point.
There's a person's head cut off.
No, I know, but I'm talking about a horse's head.
No.
A horse's head would be much harder to get off in one hit for a bear, but it just knocks the horse's head off like it's a freaking
That was
T-ball.
a sexual statement. How could you talk about getting a horse's head off in a...
Oh, yeah, getting off the horse's head.
Yeah.
In one fell swoop.
Wow.
So...
That's a talented whore right there.
Oh, my
horse.
God.
And by
Whoa!
whore, I mean horse.
A horse. Anyway, we're going to have to cut this one short, thanks to you, Fuego. So, you thought the effects were ahead of their time. I thought obviously some of the gore effects were silly.
Yeah.
But, they weren't Hellraiser level, but they weren't terrible. At least they were throwing something at you.
Well, it was a film that when I walked in knowing just the extent of the budget and what they were trying to do, and unfortunately what they were trying to mimic, emulate, and rip off, I was a little more forgiving for that sheer fact, because I was walking expecting absolute shite, dude, and it wasn't.
I got shite.
And really, I didn't think the acting was that bad either, man.
I wasn't a fan.
I mean,
I'll take Orca over this as far as Jaws ripoffs go.
Really? I liked seeing it in a different setting, man. I honestly did, and I did not think that the guy who
I'll take Piranha over this.
I didn't
Jaws
think that. Well, Joe Dante. I mean, I personally, not to get too off base, but I prefer the Piranha remake to the Joe Dante original.
Still, I'll take either one, the remake or the original, over this.
Yeah.
Ooh, falling.
Not a great movie, but definitely not as bad as some have criticized it as. I guess I will just leave that as the final thought on my part.
Okay.
I did not like the fact that the guy who was brought in as the bear expert, he was a little underserved and so on and so forth. And he was like, yeah, they've been acting in this way for
this isn't a rogue bear. This is a mutant leftover from the pre-extinction dinosaur era bear.
Yes, thank you for chiming in with that.
Oh my God, are you serious? Like, that's what they said. This isn't a rogue bear. This is an ancestor to an ancient...
They only grew up to this size normally, and they're like, no, they're grown, blah, blah,
This
blah,
is an
blah.
ancient bear, and then it's like, well, that looks like footage of a regular bear to me, but okay.
Why has nobody ever seen this bear the entire goddamn time?
For years and years.
Plot holes.
It was the same problem that they invented in Tremors 2, when they said that the graboids had been around since prehistoric era, but they hadn't been seen until Tremors 1. Yeah. It's that sort of stupidity that they tried to go with this.
Well, and also in the hole in the ground where nobody ever talks about why there's this big hole in the ground. And sorry.
Okay, wow. Now we're really just
I had to
all
do
the other
Watch our
episodes.
review of Hole in the Ground.
You whore. All right.
I had to whore my ground.
Thank you guys very much for watching our review of Grizzly. Thank you to Teddy Brown for requesting it in spite of the fact that we didn't enjoy it. We're not going to enjoy everyone. No, so we haven't liked one of yours. We haven't liked one of Mikey's, but you guys have been two of the most active patrons. So we appreciate that very much. So keep sending us suggestions. We're going to like some of them, I guarantee you. So Thank you guys very much for joining. And if you haven't joined the Patreon yet, the link is in the description box down below where you can actually request a movie for us to review as well. If this sparked you like, oh, they need to watch this, then make sure you join up and request us to do so.
Tell us what to do.
Indeed. So until next time, I've been Cecil Laird.
Gracias. I've been Jaime Fuego.
And remember, stay scared. You know what? I kind of want to redo the cold open. I kind of want to take my shirt off and walk on and be like, what's up, Fuego? I'd be like, what are you doing? I'd be like, we're about to review a bear movie, right?
And I can just be like, okay.
Oh, God.